Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen of the Scribe Tribe, to another Galaxy of Heroes video. In case you haven't watched yesterday's video on the Sector 1 feats for Conquest, check it out over here. Get your feats nice and easily with the help of your boy Scribble. But today, I talk more importantly about Sector 2 Conquest feats and how we can best go about doing them to get Admiral Trench in our rosters. Taking a look at the sector feats for Sector 2, we can see Siphoning Strike, health steal up 20 times, defeat 50 units with rebel fighters, and attempt to inflict 120 thermal detonators. Now that's a lot of damage. We also need to gain damage immunity at least 20 times. But before we jump into the feats themselves and the teams that we're going to be using, have a think back about what we said in yesterday's video talking about teams to look out for. The first team that I want you to be keeping an eye out for in each and every sector, not just Sector 1, but every sector, is Nest. Mon Mothma is the second one. The final team to look out for is Imperial Troopers. See, I did tell you to look out for those teams. Yeah. However, I would also say there is one final team that is actually very useful here, and that is Jango Lead Bounty Hunters. The reason I recommend Jango Fett-led Bounty Hunters is very simple. Jango Fett's leadership, when he triggers his contract, he's actually passing Bounty Hunter's Resolve to all his Bounty Hunter allies. Not only that, but him and Boba Fett both start with Bounty Hunter's Resolve. That makes this team ideal for racking up kills. In this sector in particular, we need to get 50 kills with rebel fighters, and we can get up to 12 kills in this one battle alone. If you have the opportunity, make sure you find a node with Jango Lead Bounty Hunters. First off, let's take a look at the Health Steal Up team. Now this following team with EP, Mara Jade, GBA, Visas Mar and GMY will get all of these feats done, or all of these health steals done, in just one battle. Now I know I got a little bit unfortunate here by getting mass ability blocked out the gate, but all you really need to do is get to Palp's first turn in order to get that health steal up on his second special ability. I've taken in Mara Jade here just to get a little bit more control and TM rolling in this team, because it's handy to be able to shock the entire team. If we take a look here, once we get to Palp's turn here, that gives us 6 instances of health steal up. We then get a bonus turn, we can stun the entire team thanks to Mara Jade putting that tenacity down out there. Not only that, we also have Visas Mar here. Visas Mar has got her first special ability, which will also pass health steal up to all her allies, and she actually kills some people doing significant damage there. The reason I throw in GBA is because it gives us 1 extra unit. That means, it's just 1 extra instance of health steal up. GMY, being the final piece of the puzzle here, is able to just spread those buffs. That re-triggers the instances of health steal up that we get. Quick and easy, you'll get well over 20 health steals up in a battle that you choose to do this, and it's a relatively strong team. So starting off with the thermal detonator feat, I went in here with Rey and my gear 1 or so Jawas, okay? So granted, I did have the frenzy tech active, but it's not actually necessary. You want to find yourself a Mon Mothma team and just go in with Jawas so long as you have Scavenger and his ability to apply thermal detonators to enemies that actually go ahead and hurt or deal any sort of damage to Jawas. You'll be able to get this feat done in just 1 turn. Now, I think the frenzy tech here helped me a little bit because I was able to get increasingly larger stacks of the lifeblood on my Jawas, but going in against a Mon Mothma team here, you can see, look at the sheer volume of thermal detonators on these guys. This is why it's so important to make sure that you find a Mon Mothma team when you're going through, because it makes feats like these an absolute doddle. You don't even need to gear your Jawas. I've got some level 1s there. You can see the health on that Jawa over there in the corner. He has got 2 little green bars, but the the lifeblood is actually keeping him alive from Rey. And then we can just go ahead and throw out some thermal detonators when we're ready to win this match. You don't even necessarily need to win this match, you can actually just let it time out, and that'll be perfectly fine. Rey's ultimate is also a really good means of keeping them alive and potentially dealing enough damage to actually win. For the Rebel Fighter feat, I like to use JML Lead with 3 supporting Jedi and Kyle Katarn, but any Rebel Fighter will do in that last slot. Find yourself a Jango Fett Bounty Hunter team so that you can get a potential 12 kills in 1 battle, meaning you can actually finish up the entire feat in just 4 or 5 battles. So, what is the idea here? We need to immediately control Bosk so that he can't taunt. After that, you want to immediately kill Jango Fett and Boba Fett just the 1 time. Once you've killed them and got rid of their first instance of Bounty Hunter's Resolve, they will revive. After that, you have to play the waiting game. You want to try and stall out the battle long enough so that they trigger Jango Fett's contract. So the reason we want to do this is because once his contract has actually triggered, then he will actually pass Bounty Hunter's Resolve to the entire enemy team, giving us an opportunity to re-kill everybody. It even triggers on Boba Fett and Jango Fett once again. So after we've killed them once, we can kill them twice, and then a third time for juicy triple kills galore. I love it. So as you can see, we've killed Jango once, we've killed Boba once, now I'm trying to stall out. So I'm not doing the coin ability, I'm not calling assists, I'm not doing big damaging attacks. All I'm doing right now is trying to bide my time and let them hit contract. If you bring in Hermit Yoda here, you will be able to place Master's Training on people, and if you do that, I advise you only place it on Kyle Katarn. That will ensure that he is always called to assist and gives you another opportunity for an ability to use when your Inherited Teachings ability is off cooldown. As you can see, they have triggered their contract now, so everybody has got Bounty Hunter's Resolve once again. Once you've hit this point, it's time to go to absolute town on these bounty hunters. Every single time you've got a chance, call in Kyle Katarn to assist using the coin ability, and he will shred through this team in no time flat. You don't even need good datacrons to make this work. Data discs. You can go in without any and this will still work. If you are looking to get the most out of this, obviously you can do stuff like the one that increases your mastery when you attack out a turn, or anything that gives you additional stats, health, protection, offense, all of that good stuff will work. The real benefit of this is obviously you get lots of kills, but not only do you get lots of kills, you are also able to do this down to a low level of stamina. All you really need to do is top up JML stamina when you get the chance. I really like this particular one simply for the volume of kills that you can get. Give it a try and let me know how you get on. And just before we go any further, if you could take one quick moment here and just like the video for me, it really does help my channel grow and it really pushes my content out there to help more people. Really appreciate you guys. Looking at the damage immunity feat, my favorite one is to take in JMK. He has got damage immunity on his second special, so if we take in C-3PO and R2-D2 with GK and Shaq-T, we're actually able to stack stacks of translation on JMK to reduce his cooldowns and get round to that damage immunity a lot quicker. This also has the benefit of being double dipping into your feats with C-3PO and R2-D2 as well. So I've chosen to go up against a Bosk team here, and that's because they've got plenty of health and protection recovery. Just make sure you don't put the damage immunity on Bosk. You want to try and use it sparingly, and when you do, try to call in C-3PO with that special so that you can reduce your cooldowns and cycle round through your damage immunity even faster than you normally would. I'm actually able to stall out this battle all the way throughout and get plenty of damage immunities done in this particular case. But this isn't the only team that we can really use to get some damage immunity stacking. Let's check out a few alternatives. Rey also has baked in damage immunity on her kit whenever any of her allies that are light side drop below 50% of their max health. I'm also throwing in Beskar Mando here and a bunch of scoundrels. All of my allies here are scoundrels. So Beskar Armor Mando's unique gives him an ability where he can take a bonus turn and use his damage immunity ability on a scoundrel ally. So I'm using this against Geonosians here, as these are a team that have got plenty of sustain, and I'll be able to hang out here and just farm these guys for some damage immunities. I don't find this particular team as effective as JMK, but if you don't have him and you do have Rey, and even Bam, this is another option that is available to you. There's one more team that I'd like to go over very, very briefly though. For the last source of damage immunity, I've gone with a Separatist team here. And this team is threefold in benefit. First of all, we are actually accomplishing 2 global feats with this particular one, Separatists and then no leadership. We're also satisfying the sector feat for damage immunity. Now, Jango Fett, if he's in a team with a Separatist in the leader slot, doesn't need to have a leadership, just needs to be in the leader slot. He will start the match with damage immunity for 2 turns thanks to his contract being triggered. Secondly, we've got Droideka. Now with Wat Tambor here, I'm able to place the weapons tech on Droideka so that he takes more and more turns. Droideka's second special allows him to get damage immunity, as you can see. Now I wouldn't necessarily recommend going against the team that I've displayed here, as there is a lot of survivability and a lot of damage output, but if you've got significant investment in your Separatists, you can make this work and get a lot of damage immunities in one game. I was able to drag this out for the full 5 minutes and still win the match. and that gave me, I don't know, probably a dozen damage immunities easily. Try this one out if you've got nothing else. Looking at the mini-boss feats now, we're going to win with Kylo Ren in the team. I've taken in CLS and just swapping out C-3PO for Kylo Ren. Make sure you stun Resistance Hero Finn at the start and then focus on getting that tenacity down across the board and controlling the enemy team. Now my OG Kylo here is only gear level 8, so you can get this done without too much gear invested. CLS really is just the best thing to use here. Don't forget, even though Ben Solo is in this team, you can kill him without taking Rey below 50% health, so don't worry about trying to lower her health before going after Ben. He's very easy to deal with. I would really get rid of Resistance Hero Finn and Poe as a first priority, and then get rid of Ben and then focus on JTR. Think about the people that have got the AoEs here. It's Resistance Hero Finn, it's Kylo. So, well, by Kylo I mean Ben, right? After those two have removed, you've really got an easy job of just cleaning up the rest. As you can see, it's not a problem at all, because you've got the tenacity down, you've got 2 sources of stuns, you've got AoE heals, you've got so much damage output that you should be able to survive this battle with the enemy barely taking a turn. Just leave JTR until towards the end of the battle, and you'll get it done with no real issues. Super. Let's look at the boss feats now. So for the boss node, we need to survive the battle with Moff Gideon still alive. I like how they've recreated Mandalorian Season 1 finale here. It's actually incredibly easy if you've got Imperial Troopers, guys. Even though they've got an insane level of preloaded turn meter, they don't tend to do much damage. Just going with the standard Imperial Trooper team, dropping out your 5th to throw in Moff Gideon. He might even be your 5th, I don't know. I like to put the armor shred over there on IG-11 and just watch as Dark Trooper goes to town and ruins everybody's day. If you do that, you will actually trigger Beskar Mando's Whistling Birds incredibly quickly. I like to simply focus on him next because I don't want him passing those or gaining all those bonus turns and putting out damage immunity and stuff like that. So yeah, it's very, very easy and straightforward. You don't even have to worry about Hondo and Naka here. Just go ahead and rip face against Mando, and then I think Queel I took out next, and finally you do have Armorer. Now Armorer is actually surprisingly squishy, I find. I've left Queel alive here. I think I'm going to kill him with an AoE from Feats. Mass Assist, I can't remember what it's called now, but that will actually spread fear over to Hondo. So I think we're going to pass some turn meter up here and just go ham. Now, if you don't happen to have an Imperial Trooper team, I recommend you just throw Moff Gideon in with whatever strongest teams you happen to have available. He is a very plug-and-play character and fits in almost anywhere. Have fun with this one. And that's going to be our Sector 2 feats, guys. So before we wrap this up, ladies and gentlemen of the Scribe Tribe, I just want to say, if you are progressing through this and you are getting these feats done efficiently and quickly, it gives you even more time to focus on those global feats like the Separatists, like the No Leaderships, like the Sith teams that you can use to satisfy those at a quicker pace. Not only that, it helps you progress through, it helps you get more data discs very quickly, and then you'll be in a better position to clean up any feats that you've missed along the way. Keep the faith and keep going, guys. Let me know in the comment section down below which feats you are struggling with, and I can see if I can help you out with some alternatives. More importantly, if you haven't checked out my Sector 1 video, it's over here, guys. Go take a look at that one first. I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.